Hi, I'm Charlie Roadman, Austin criminal defense attorney, and today we're going to talk about the Travis County DWI Pre-Trial Diversion program. I'm going to go over the timeline and some of the elements of the program itself. First, the basic qualifications for the program are you can't have any prior arrests. Your B.A.C has to be less than 0.20. Okay? There can't have been a collision involving another person during the arrest. And the facts can't be too bad, okay? The prosecutors have discretion on whether to allow you in the program or not. And if they don't like something about your case, they can just say, no, we're not gonna do it. Now, the basic rules of the program are you have to have an ignition interlock device in your car for up to a year. It can be 6 months or a year. You cannot drink while in the program, so if they catch you drinking somehow, they'll kick you out. You have to do counseling classes, and there's some community service, but at the end, the final result is a dismissal that's expungable, okay? And that's a separate process, but if you expunge it, it will come completely off your record. Everything will be deleted and destroyed. All right, so the timeline goes like this. We got the arrest, and then we have to receive all the evidence from the prosecutors, and that if there's blood involved, if they took blood, that can be 6-7 months before we can even start the analysis of whether you qualify or not, because that's the next step. We have to determine whether you potentially qualify. If you have a bunch of prior arrests, there's no point in us even applying to the program, for example. So we determine whether you potentially qualify, and there are some scenarios where, we try to talk our way around some things, and anyway, we're pretty good at talking our way into the program, but ultimately the prosecutors will decide if they let you in or not. If we think you potentially qualify, you fill out an application that we give to you, and we'll submit it to the prosecutors, and then the prosecutors review it, okay? And they're gonna look at criminal history, the facts of the case, and they're say yes or no to whether you get into start the next step. If they say, okay, we think he or she potentially qualifies, they'll have you get what's called a CES evaluation, and that's an alcohol evaluation or drug. And basically they're trying to determine whether you have a severe alcohol or drug problem. Because if you do, they're not gonna let you in the program. It has to be moderate or low. So they'll review that evaluation once that's been done. And then if they say, okay, they qualify, the next thing is you have to get the ignition interlock device before the program starts. And then they'll schedule a meeting, usually, okay, an onboarding meeting where the program starts. And the clock starts right then. Now, there can be a 3-month check-in and a 6-month check-in. And at the 6-month check-in, if you've been perfect, they will likely dismiss the case and discharge you from the program. Sometimes if you haven't completed something or there's been some issue or something, they'll do the full 12-month and discharge it there at the end. Now, of course, they can kick you out if you violate any of these conditions of the program. All right, I hope that helps. Give us a call if you have any questions.